I'm Selena Wilkes with Port 44, and I have an interesting guest here today. One of the very first businesses to really open up on Main Street, Williamsport, about 5 or 6 years ago when it was just starting to turn itself around. And I have Lauren Rose here with Rose Metalworks. And I got to tell you, she and her husband, Chad, will probably have one of those businesses, what I would call one of the best kept secrets in Washington County, not just Williamsport, but for the county. And you tune in because you're going to find out why. Lauren, great to have you here today in our studio. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome. And you know, I have had the pleasure to work with you and your husband on some projects, and it always amazes me on the beginning how we create a design on the custom side, and then watching him execute when they install. It's just it's breathtaking.
Brings it all to life.
It is, and
Yep.
that is amazing artwork right there. And I think when people think about welding, sometimes the art side is forgotten.
Yeah, yeah.
And but I want you to share with all of us what you have done in Williamsport and how did both of you come together? I mean, you're a husband wife team here and raising a family. How did you come together to make this dream come true for you two?
Well, it started off when we were both working full time, other avenues of employment, and he wanted to open up a mobile welding business, and that started about 14, 15 years ago. And we kind of just did that on the side. That was his thing. We did that while we both worked. I was a nurse. He worked for another local business, doing maintenance and servicing like fuel pumps and things. So he was into that and welding on the side. But then about 8 years ago, he built our first plasma table, and we both, I thought that it was just something else to kind of go along with what he was doing.
Like one of his toys,
right? and he was like, I want your help with this because there's a lot of computer work to it, and I really want you to learn the computer side of it. And so in the evenings, I'm like watching YouTube, trying to learn like how do you run a CNC table. Wow. So it got really interesting for a little bit, and then I realized that you could do like a lot more than like washers and gussets and cutting circles and squares. There's a whole world out there of like decorative, cool looking stuff. And so I was like, yeah, I will help you draw this, but I am in return going to need to do these things that I want to see what it'll do. So we started cutting out. I think the very first thing after we cut a few little test things was hit right about the time his parents had lost their longtime companion, their lab dog. And we cut this big like life-size silhouette and put it on stakes, and it became a memorial. And after that, we just kind of played around with new things. We did I did an employee craft fair at the place that I worked, and like sold out at this one day thing. And I was like, I think we might be onto something. So we kept going with it, kept working. And eventually I was meeting people in parking rides and empty parking lots and places that were probably a little sketchy to exchange goods and money, just because it was, convenient. We really had no other place other than having them come to my house.
You did what you had to do.
Right. So I was, even in having one of our third child in the hospital right around Mother's Day, having people come to the hospital while I was recovering, he's going out and meeting people in the parking lot to deliver Mother's Day gifts because it was the Friday before Mother's Day. So, I mean, we decided at that point, we probably should look into something other than like if it's going to keep going like this. So that was the whole point of opening the store in Williamsport, was we need a place that we can showcase what we do, but also have a place for people to come pick up their orders, like not, in a parking lot, dimly lit, things like that.
Right.
So,
make it more of a legit.
A little bit more legitimate, yes. So that's how that all began. But eventually I quit my job. He quit his job. We've both been full-time at it. I think he left his position about 5 years ago, almost exactly, and has been full-time, both of us. And now we have 3 other full-time employees as well.
That's fantastic. And folks, for those of you sitting here thinking that you want to start your own business, hey, I'm going to tell you, this is how it works. I mean, everybody has to make that transition at some point. And Lauren, you said that beautifully. That's exactly how it would. You have to hustle, and
You do.
you do what
I
you
mean,
got
you
to
make
do.
sacrifices and
Absolutely.
whatever you need to do.
Well, thanks for sharing the real deal on that. That's what it is. But in the meantime, currently, Rose Metalworks store is on 3 North Conicachig Street in Williamsport. And you've been watching Williamsport change over a few years. So tell us how that has been a positive impact for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a lot of changes, to the Main Street district, especially. Um, we've been there. February will be 7 years.
7 years.
And we've seen, you know, a turnover. It seems like things are moving in a positive direction. You know, the revitalization, buildings looking cleaner and more, approachable. It just looks like a place that you would want to walk and take, browse and just see what there is. We've kind of, see a steady, increase in foot traffic as the years go on. I mean, of course, people realize what's there, and then adding new to it definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know, is this your father or father-in-law that runs the store?
My dad.
Yeah, it's her
My
dad.
dad.
I
Yep.
know I've talked to him a few times. Great
Uh-huh.
guy. And he's always there. So if you just want to peek in,
Mhm.
Lauren's dad will be there to help you as well. So
Yep.
tell us some of the products that you actually sell in the store.
So in our store, we is strictly, the artwork side of our business. So different sorts of decorative wall decor, garden stakes, lots of seasonal stuff. So, we have, like right now, I'm actually transitioning into the Christmas winter season. So we're getting rid of a lot of our pumpkins, cats, and ghosts, little, metal stakes, and going to snowflakes and snowmen and gingerbread men and little decorative things that they just, go in your flower bed. We make them for flower pots. We make them um, all different shapes and sizes. But then we also have wall decorations. You can special order in our store. We have samples of custom pieces that you can order. And then we also have launched this year our solar lights, which are like a box tubing with a design cut out around them with a solar cap. And they come in different sizes and colors. And we probably have about 40 of them in stock at any given time. And then we do those custom order as well with like your house number, last name, whatever you'd like.
And those things are the perfect gift because, it's one of those gifts that has people took the time to think through what to give you. It's not like the ordinary that everybody has.
Right.
And I think that's what makes your gift so special for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I could tell you on a custom front, from small to large project, I know this is probably Chad.
Yes.
Bread and butter, right?
He definitely. So I would say we almost have two businesses running simultaneously. I take over all, the CNC side, the decorative, which we upgraded this year to a laser. We started with a plasma last year. About this time, we decided to upgrade to a laser. So this spring, we got that up and running, and that kind of changed the game for my side of things and his. But he definitely runs the side that does fabrication, welding, repairs. I don't do that side so much, but I can definitely help cut the parts that make that. So yeah, but he does anything from hand railing, um, industrial like staircasing or catwalks.
I gotta tell you, she's hitting on some of the big projects Chad does, and it's phenomenal work. If you ever get a chance to come into Williamsport and go into Sweet Notes Bakery, in the back there's a little courtyard, and he did a beautiful, what I call a private screen. It had decorative designs on it, and that's all custom. And I know if you go into Ruth Market in Williamsport, if you look in the back wall, that building used to be the old savings bank. And that bank, he created a vault like wall. And I know he and I worked on that. And so if you've got a project or an idea in mind, he's the guy to talk to, and he'll make it happen.
Absolutely. Yep. He's great at what he does. I mean, he's been doing metalworking on and off, long before we even opened the business. That was always his passion. He always wanted to weld, and he's good at it. I mean,
So now you look back on that day he asked you while he was tinkering around,
mhm,
he asked you to help him out.
mhm.
Now you look back and you thank him for that because you
Oh yeah.
never saw that at the beginning, right?
No, in fact, we laughed. The people that we ordered some of the computerized parts from for it, they're out of Texas, and I remember being on the phone with them, and the guy said, "Yeah, you won't believe it. I sold a husband and wife this type of setup about 6 months ago, and they both have quit their jobs." And we're like, "Could you imagine?" And we laughed, like, "Really? How?" I mean, we
Look,
didn't do it 6 months later. It took a little bit longer, but now I look back and I'm like, huh, should have really listened to that guy because he was on to something.
well, it's been a pleasure to see you all thrive here in our town, and I'm excited for your future growth and expansion. And I'm sure there'll be new ideas coming your way every time. Is there
Mhm.
any other products or ideas that you want to share that we don't know about yet?
Well, not necessarily anything that we're like keeping secret or anything. I mean, we are always looking to make new things. I mean, if I were to tell Chad, you have a whole week with nothing else that you have to get done, what do you want to make? Like, we would be making little portable grills and uh, fire pits and
Oh,
smudge pots and rocket stoves. And I mean, look these things up, they're really cool. But I mean, we would have an entire new product line. So there's definitely things that we would like to do and we would like to get into. And when the time is right, I think we'll definitely have, or if somebody has a need for one, then we can certainly break into that. But right now we're, I mean, focusing on the holidays. It's
oh
getting into
yeah.
that, and we ship a lot. I mean, outside of our storefront, we sell online, we sell on Etsy. um, we're
What's
gearing
your
up for,
so on Etsy? What's your business name on Etsy?
oh, this is a fun one. So my this is
It's always something.
this was what I always kind of had. I initially started transitioning our stuff towards, but we didn't fully commit to it. But Etsy is called the Welder's Wife Store. That is the
That's a
name
good
of our
one.
shop. And I always thought the Welder's Wife was a cool, little like side hustle to the Rhodes Welding and Metalworks name. But it doesn't matter. It's all good. But we have the Etsy shop is the Welder's Wife Store, and we're pretty busy on there. We do a lot of shipping, and we turn around. All Etsy orders get shipped within 1 to 2 business days,
Oh wow.
so we don't
You
have
like
a.
you like the
It's a hustle.
Amazon.
Well, you have to compete.
Yes.
So we definitely have um, shifted a large side of our business to accommodating Etsy workflow because that is year round and
Hmm.
outside of the seasonal hustle and bustle. But really, I mean, it picks up on even after Christmas. We sell a lot of the winter, the stuff everybody wants to put out to leave out the rest of the winter, and then Valentine's Day and St.
The
Patrick's Day,
seasonals.
and
Yeah.
yeah, we kind of pick up on the different seasonal things. So we're coming into obviously the busy time for anybody in retail, but it's it's that's a big part of what we do.
That's great. I'm
Yeah,
glad you shared that because I
yeah,
knew you were on Etsy, but I didn't know what the name was.
yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah.
So we have Lauren Rose here with Rose Metalworks right here in Williamsport, 3 North Conecuh. But don't forget to go to Etsy and check out the Welder's Wife
Wife store.
Store. Right.
Yep.
And also, Williamsport is a very busy town
Hmm.
during the holidays, as Lauren said. And I know there's a parade, some events, the Cocoa Crawl, their store will be open. So if
Hmm.
you're looking for that unique gift, make sure
Yep.
you stop into Rose Metal Works. Well, thank you, Lauren, for joining us.
Yes. Thank you
And
for having me.
oh, absolutely. And thanks for watching us live here at Dugout at River Spirit Media Studio. Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.